This man had just started working for a month and had already increased production by 300%. But the strange thing was that he had no idea what his company was selling. While he was talking to his colleagues, the leader came in and mentioned the party tonight. If the man didn't please the leader, he wouldn't even think about getting promoted or getting a raise. Today was the leader's wedding anniversary, so he wanted to go to the man's house to celebrate. Vision immediately called his wife. After hearing this, he wanted to tell her to prepare something, but his wife Wanda was really not good at housework. She thought that today was her and Vision's anniversary, so she immediately made sure that she knew everything and that there would be no mistakes. The two of them didn't think the same way. Vision didn't know anything and brought the leader Hutch and his wife home. Unexpectedly, Wanda blindfolded Hutch as soon as she opened the door. By the time they realized it was a misunderstanding, they were confused and explained that it was Sokovia's way of welcoming guests. Then Wanda found an opportunity to go to the kitchen and tell Vision that she didn't know Hutch was coming. She had only prepared a small piece of cake. It certainly wasn't enough for them, so she had to run over to borrow food from her neighbor, Ednis. Wanda was afraid that she would be discovered, so she didn't accept Ednis's offer to teach her how to cook. She soon regretted it because she had never cooked before. Then the whole kitchen became a mess. Sometimes eggs turned into chickens, sometimes shrimp disappeared. Hutch's wife heard a crash and was about to go in to help Wanda. Vision saw this and quickly stopped her. Vision saw that she was about to open the kitchen window. Wanda is about to be revealed that she has superpowers. Vision quickly started singing to attract attention, since the party had not been served for a long time. Hutch was a bit annoyed. He couldn't help but criticize Vision. Meanwhile, Wanda had finished cooking dinner. Taking advantage of the moment when Hutch wasn't paying attention, she secretly brought the food to the table. After Wanda finished preparing everything, she called everyone to eat. During the meal, Hutch and his wife asked where they were from, how long they had been married, and when they planned to have children. These three questions were normal for normal couples, but Vision and Wanda couldn't answer them. Hutch was very surprised by that. He kept urging them to answer. As a result, Hutch choked on a bone and almost suffocated. He showed a painful expression and asked for help, making Vision and Wanda very worried. Only his wife burst out laughing and told Hutch to stop. She also said that this was her husband's joke. Until Hutch choked to the point of fainting, she was still smiling. Luckily, Wanda finally told Vision to take the bone out of Hutch's throat. Thanks to that, he was saved. After that, Hutch was calm as if nothing had happened. Finally, the dinner ended. Hutch told Vision that he was very satisfied with the experience tonight. Tomorrow, Vision could mention the promotion and salary increase. After seeing Hutch and his wife off, Wanda and Vision felt a little more relieved. Wanda seemed a little down. She and Vision had no anniversary, no special song, and they didn't even have wedding rings, so they decided to choose today as their anniversary. The special song was Nagging Nagging. As for the wedding ring, Wanda could make it appear. The two were still as affectionate as ever. That night, a strange noise outside woke Wanda up. She urged Vision to go out and check, but Vision was also very scared. He heard that there were some scary and annoying people in town recently. They were going around causing trouble. Wanda felt that they were targeting her and Vision. Out of fear, she moved their beds together. After that, the two of them slept together. The next day, they heard that the town was going to hold a show. Wanda and Vision had just arrived not long ago, so this was an opportunity to interact with everyone, so they planned to perform magic tricks for everyone. At home, the two of them set up and practiced the show very smoothly. Then Vision had something to do and had to go first. As soon as he left, Wanda heard a strange noise outside. She couldn't contain her curiosity, so she went out to check. Unexpectedly, she saw a colorful drone in the flower garden. This was the second colorful object since the movie started. Moreover, on the body of the drone, there was a sword symbol pointing up to the sky. Before Wanda could calm down, Ednis suddenly gave her a small rabbit as a magic prop. After that, the two of them attended a women's meeting. The person in charge of this meeting was Dodie, who was also in charge of the performers. Some people said that she was a prominent figure in town. If they could establish a good relationship with her, they would have no worries in the future, including club membership and school registration. The two of them soon arrived at the school. Wanda realized that Dodie was a very mean person. Next to her was a friendly woman named Geraldine. Geraldine talked to Wanda very friendly. Wanda wanted to establish a good relationship, so she took the initiative to clear the table. Dodie told Wanda that she had heard rumors about the couple. After listening, Wanda seriously said that no matter what the rumors were, she had never had any bad intentions. While the two of them were talking, Wanda's shouts suddenly rang out from the radio next to them. Not long after, the radio malfunctioned, and the glass in Dodie's hand suddenly shattered, and the blood on her her hand had turned red. Wanda took the handkerchief next to her to stop the bleeding for Dodie. Dodie suddenly said that this was a surprise check. Not long after the show started, Wanda changed her clothes and waited for Vision to arrive. Time passed, but Vision still hadn't arrived. This made her extremely worried. On this side, Vision was running to the library. He was joining a group of people who were discussing a secret. At first, they didn't accept him, but thanks to his humorous way of speaking, he was admitted into the group. Unexpectedly, the so-called secret was actually just a rumor around here. Meanwhile, someone gave Vision a piece of gum. Although he didn't eat snacks, he couldn't refuse forever, so Vision happily accepted it and chewed the gum. Unexpectedly, a gossiper next to him didn't know and patted his shoulder. The gum fell into his esophagus and got tangled in Vision's electronic components. Vision started to lose his composure and started to speak incoherently. Vision suddenly didn't know what to do. By the time he reached the performance venue, his steps had become limp. That was why they had to try to finish the magic show. Wanda was performing as a backup, while Vision was doing all sorts of tricks. First, Vision was performing a high-altitude flight. Wanda saw this and quickly conjured a rope, which attracted the attention of the audience. Then Vision lifted a piano with one hand, which was not something a normal person could do. Luckily, Wanda was quick-witted, so she turned the piano into a phone board to trick again. Because of Vision's strange words and funny reactions, the audience all thought this was a comedy act. Vision was really excited, but Wanda was sweating from fear. She was mentally prepared to deal with any unexpected events. Next, Vision performed a performance of stabbing objects through people, which was really troublesome this time. The audience below gasped in fear. Wanda suddenly had an idea. She quickly pulled the curtain to turn it into many mirrors. She fooled everyone again. Although there was no explanation, the audience still did not scream. Then came the final magic act with the mysterious cabinet. Vision would leave Wanda inside. He would make her disappear and then appear. As a result, an accident happened during the performance. Because Wanda had not yet entered the cabinet, Vision recited a spell to attract the attention of the audience below. They all wanted to know what was in the cabinet. Hearing everyone's cheers, Wanda broke out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, she was quick-witted and put Geraldine in the cabinet. When Vision opened the cabinet door, cheers immediately rang out from below. No matter what, the performance went smoothly. Wanda then asked Vision what happened. After knowing the whole story, Wanda took out the chewing gum from him. Only then did Vision return to normal. They felt that this act had failed. They planned to escape when no one was paying attention. As a result, they were discovered by Dodie, who called them back. She said that she was very satisfied with Wanda and Vision's performance. She decided to give them the first prize. After returning home, the two felt much more relieved. At the same time, they happily thought about performance. It was all for their children. Wanda planned to prepare some popcorn, but when she bent down, she saw that her belly had been bulging for a while. It was obvious that she was pregnant. At that moment, there was a noise outside. The two of them curiously went out to check. Suddenly, a person came out of the sewer by the roadside, surrounded by many insects. His protective gear had a sword symbol pointing up to the sky. Wanda saw this and said no. Then everything was replayed. After realizing that she was pregnant, Wanda happily hugged her husband. Then the surroundings began to change. The black and white from the beginning of the film turned into bright colors. The black and white scenery of the 60s turned into modern scenery of the 70s. It was as if the baby gave them a strange feeling. From that day on, the two of them began to prepare for the birth of the child. To ensure that the child in Wanda's belly developed normally, Vision would invite a doctor to check her on time. After the doctor finished checking, he found that Wanda was at least 4 months pregnant, but obviously this couple did not understand much about children, so the doctor had to provide them with some simple knowledge about pregnancy. When Vision saw the doctor out the door, Vision deliberately told him not to talk about this outside. After the doctor left, Vision saw his neighbor repairing the fence. Vision kindly reminded him that he had gone too far. At first glance, they seemed very strange. Although Vision felt a little suspicious, he did not pay too much attention. Unexpectedly, as soon as he entered the house, he saw that Wanda's belly had grown much larger. Then the two of them started to set up the baby's bed, and then they fixed up the baby's room. Vision read books about parenting and childbirth to deal with sudden situations. In a flash, the baby in Wanda's belly was 6 months old. They had come up with names for the baby, Tommy and Billy. As the fetus grew, some changes occurred in this place. During the first labor, butterflies hanging in the room suddenly came to life. Vision asked his wife with some doubt what she had done. Wanda replied that she didn't mean it. She didn't care about it. Later, the two of them discovered that if the fetus continued to develop at this rate, the baby would be born in 3 days. So Vision practiced swaddling the baby. When Wanda had contractions, he followed the book to teach her how to breathe. Soon, Wanda felt excruciating pain. The surroundings shook suddenly, and household items exploded one after another. Then the entire square square was cut off. Wanda couldn't help feel anxious. Vision said that this place seemed a bit strange. The neighbors' reactions just now were also unusual. He suspected that there was something wrong with this town. After hearing this, Wanda thought that his suspicions as paternal anxiety. A moment later, Wanda's water broke. It suddenly started to rain heavily in the house, and the two of them had to hide under the table to wait for this to end. As soon as the heavy rain stopped, Wanda summoned a gust of wind to blow the house dry. Vision called for a doctor to come and check. He ran out of the house as fast as he could. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. Wanda couldn't let others know that she was pregnant, so she quickly put on her coat and opened the door. It was Geraldine. It had also just rained heavily at Geraldine's house, but Geraldine didn't find it strange. She just thought that the water pipe on the ceiling was broken, so she went to Wanda's house to borrow a large water tank. When Wanda heard this, she anxiously went to look for the water tank, and as a result, an accident happened. Wanda thought she was about to be exposed, but Geraldine didn't seem to see anything. While talking, Wanda realized that the crane she drew in the baby's room had come to life. Moreover, she couldn't use magic to make it disappear, so she had to attract Geraldine's attention. Wanda was wary of her seeing the crane. Fortunately, everything went smoothly. Geraldine walked around Wanda's house very naturally. Finally, she saw the baby's bed. Before she could react, Wanda suddenly had a severe stomachache. It seemed that Wanda was about to give birth. Geraldine quickly helped Wanda lie down. As the pain in Wanda's body gradually increased, the furniture in the room began to move by itself and then exploded. Geraldine saw everything, but she didn't say anything, and ran to help Wanda midwifery the baby. A scream rang out, and the first baby boy was born. Coincidentally, Vision and the doctor also returned home at this time. When he saw his first son, he was extremely happy. He decided to call the child Tommy. Before the joy had passed, Wanda felt a severe stomachache, and she gave birth to a second child named Billy. Then the doctor praised Geraldine for staying calm. Family matters were settled, so Vision took the doctor home. Vision felt guilty for ruining the doctor's day off. After listening, the doctor said that he probably didn't get a vacation because it was difficult to leave this town. His eyes and tone seemed to imply something that Vision couldn't understand. Vision turned around and found Ednis whispering something to the neighbors. Vision wanted to go over and find out, but they seemed to be afraid of something. They just hesitated for a long time before reminding Vision to try not to get close to Geraldine, because she had no friends or relatives and she wasn't even home. The two continued talking, but strangely, they couldn't open their mouths. That was the end of the conversation. At that time, Geraldine was busy taking care of the children. Looking at these two lovely children, Wanda said she had a twin brother named Pichu. Then she started singing. Suddenly, Geraldine beside her seriously asked if Wanda was killed by Ultron. This question confused Wanda. Seeing this, Geraldine quickly changed her attitude. Geraldine quickly changed the topic to Wanda's child. But Wanda was wary of Geraldine. Not only that, Geraldine also had the symbol of the sword organization on her body. Wanda asked Geraldine what symbol this was. Geraldine didn't know how to answer. Wanda suddenly walked step by step towards Geraldine. At this moment, Vision had just finished talking and was going home when he didn't see Geraldine. Wanda said Geraldine had something to do and had to go home first. Just then, a space tunnel suddenly appeared outside the town. Geraldine was pushed out. Then a group of people surrounded her. Actually, Geraldine was Monica from the Sword Organization. After Monica returned to reality, she realized that she was in the hospital. As for Maria, her mother, who should have been lying in bed, was nowhere to be found. Monica rushed out to look for her and found out that Maria had passed away 3 years ago. Meanwhile, she was still missing. After hearing this, Monica immediately ran to the Sword Organization. Only then did she know that there was a missing person incident in New Jersey. Director Haywood wanted Monica to pilot a drone to help the FBI investigate. After hearing this, Monica quickly drove there. She saw her contact, James, there. James said that all the witnesses related to the case had evaporated from the world. The local police also confirmed that there was no Westview town here. Therefore, it was probably not just a few missing people but the entire town. After hearing this, Monica decided to pilot a drone to check the situation. Unexpectedly, the drone disappeared as soon as it entered Westview Town. The two people curiously went in to check, and they discovered that Westview Town seemed to be covered by some kind of energy. Monica was sucked in as soon as she made contact. The Sword Organization soon knew about this, so they set up a support base in Westview Town. They also called in many experts to analyze the case. Astrophysicist Daisy discovered that there was cosmic radiation with extremely short wavelengths. Fortunately, she had a device that could monitor the scene inside Westview Town. but the prerequisite was to find an old-fashioned TV to make it easier to operate. That day, the Sword Organization sent people in protectives. Those people followed the pipeline into Westview Town to find Monica. Meanwhile, inside Darcy's device, a scene of Wanda and Vision living together was displayed. Darcy asked in surprise, "Isn't Vision dead?" In order to investigate clearly, everyone began to memorize the characters that appeared on the screen. At the same time, they discovered that these characters existed in real life. Soon, Monica appeared on the screen. Things got more complicated. Everything on the screen was very similar to a comedy from the 50s. Darcy noticed the radio next to Wanda, so she planned to use it to send a signal up. This way she got in touch, but Darcy discovered that part of the story was erased. Obviously, this method could not be done. At that moment, the person who had sneaked into the pipe was crawling up. When he passed through the magical barrier, the rope on his butt broke. This person quickly emerged from the sewer of Westview. Behind him were Vision and Wanda. This matched the previous content. On this side, Darcy's group continued to watch the TV image. The screen showed Monica delivering Wanda's baby. It was not until Monica said that Pichu had been killed by Ultron that Darcy and James realized something was wrong. Before that, the comedy scene did not mention any real-life characters. When Wanda walked step by step towards Monica, the scene on the screen ended. Suddenly, an alarm sounded, so the two of them rushed to check the situation. In fact, Wanda was aware that she was in a fictional world. She even knew that Monica was an intruder from outside. She didn't want her own world to be destroyed, so Wanda used magic to chase Monica out. Then she returned to her gentle face and looked at two children beside her. When Vision returned, Wanda realized that he had returned to his dying appearance. She couldn't accept it for a moment, so she lowered her head in fear. When Wanda raised her head, Vision had returned to normal. He told her that there was no need to limit their residence. They could go wherever they wanted. After listening, Wanda shook her head and laughed, saying that she didn't want to go anywhere. This place was already their home. She also said that she had everything in the palm of her hand. On the other side, Monica landed outside the Sword Organization. Suddenly, there was a warning sound around her. Darcy's group immediately rushed out. When they saw Monica, they rushed over to ask about her situation. Monica was scared and said that it was all Wanda's doing. Monica's departure had no effect on Wanda. Wanda and Vision started to stay home to take care of the children, but Tommy and Billy refused to sleep no matter how much they tried to comfort them. Two children just cried, even though Wanda's spell had no effect on the children. While the two were feeling sad about this, Ednis came to their house to play. She said she could help them look after the children. Vision was worried that something bad would happen, so he instinctively refused. Unexpectedly, Ednis turned to Wanda and asked if it needed to happen again, because Wanda asked her to comfort the child. Vision looked at them in surprise after hearing that. When they came back to their senses, Tommy and Billy had become 5 years old. Ednis was not surprised by this. Time passed, and their family lived a warm and happy life. In addition, Vision also discovered that when they encountered trouble, Ednis would appear immediately. For example, one day Tommy and Billy brought a small dog home. Wanda and Vision discovered that Ednis had brought a dog cage to the children. Wanda conveniently conjured a dog collar. Vision quickly stopped her and told Wanda not to use magic in front of outsiders. Wanda didn't care after hearing that. Anyway, Ednis saw it and didn't say anything. This made Vision feel that Wanda was a bit stubborn, because before, they had agreed not to reveal that they had magic. But now, for some reason, Wanda became even more strange. That made Vision feel a bit distant. He felt like Wanda was hiding something. At the same time, Monica had just finished her test at the Sword Organization. Not long after, Darcy and James came to visit her. They took her to attend the Sword Organization meeting. Now everyone feels that Wanda is the culprit who kidnapped the whole town. Haywood even accused her of being a terrorist. Monica quickly refuted after hearing that. She defended that Wanda was not a terrorist. When she was chased out of Westview Town, she felt that Wanda used magic to protect her. Otherwise, with the endurance of ordinary people, she would have died long ago. If Wanda was really a terrorist, then she would be very capable of kidnapping people from all over the world. There is no reason for the Sword Organization to find a loophole to investigate. Haywood said that yesterday he saw Wanda on the surveillance camera storming into the Sword Organization's headquarters from above. She stole Vision's corpse. Combined with the existing information, it is not difficult to guess that Wanda could not accept the departure of her lover, so she took over a town. She revived Vision to live another life and deceived herself in it. This is against the Sokovia Agreement. However, this conclusion is still controversial because they do not know how Wanda brought Vision back to life without the Mind Stone. Then Monica decided to return to Westview Town again. But before that, she wanted to do an experiment. Monica led Darcy and James to the lab. They fired continuously at the clothes they wore in Westview Town. They suddenly found that the bullets could not penetrate. Before entering, Monica was wearing a bulletproof vest. When she entered entered Westview Town. Wanda's magic made the bulletproof vest and Monica's clothes become one. That means she was rewriting reality. If so, they could bring in some things that were not plants. So Darcy sent a letter to Vision's company. She told them that these things were just a conspiracy. Everyone read it and thought it was a joke. Only Vision was a little concerned. He tried to restore the colleagues' memories. Unexpectedly, he panicked and said that he was not willing. Seeing that he was about to lose his mind, Vision had to return to the original. This made Vision even more skeptical about Westview. On this side, Monica, under Darcy's command, piloted the drone into Westview. At that time, there was no sign of the drone on one side of the screen. Wanda could decide what appeared or not on the screen. Monica tried to contact Wanda, but she did not cooperate. Seeing this, Haywood ordered the missile to be launched. He had secretly installed the missile on Monica's drone. One side of the screen failed. There was a hole in the magical barrier outside Westview. Everyone rushed out to check the situation. Not long after, Wanda took the drone out and reminded Haywood to stay away from her house. Monica came over to express her goodwill and said she agreed to let me deliver the baby. From a certain perspective, Wanda knew that Monica was an ally, but Wanda ignored these words. Wanda strengthened the magical barrier and left. After returning home, Wanda knew that the dog had disappeared. She led her two sons to search everywhere. In the end, they only found its body. Edna was extremely sad. According to her, the little dog ate the wrong thing and died. Tommy and Billy could not accept it. The two boys wanted to grow up quickly. Wanda saw this and quickly stopped them. The children told her to change reality so that the little dog could come back to life. Wanda was a bit surprised when she heard this and told the children that death was inevitable for humans. Moreover, nature also had its own laws. No matter how miserable this made them, it could not change death. While Wanda was speaking, Vision walked over. He did not understand what had happened, that he had recently disagreed with Wanda. After they returned home, Vision mentioned what happened during the day. They felt that Wanda controlled everything here, controlled everyone's thoughts, and the two of them were at odds with each other, and even had a big argument. Vision wanted to know what was outside Westview Town, and why there were no other children here. Wanda still insisted that she did not control everyone. While the two were talking, there was a knock on the door. The person who came was Ralph. He was also Wanda's younger brother Pichu, but in this world, Ralph became Wanda's older brother. From Wanda's reaction, it could be seen that Ralph's appearance seemed to be within expectations. However, it was undeniable that he was very good at looking after children. Since Ralph arrived, Wanda and Vision felt much more comfortable. He and the two children quickly immersed themselves in the Halloween festival. During the conversation with Ralph, Wanda realized that their childhood memories were slightly different. Vision then decided to go out to investigate the situation. He was forced to clarify the truth about this town. But Wanda didn't want Vision to go because this was the first time they enjoyed Halloween with their children. Ralph saw that and quickly came to mediate. He said he would take care of the children. So Vision left. Wanda and Ralph took the children out to the street to ask for candy. On the way, she deliberately mentioned her childhood story to quickly confirm Ralph's identity. Because this brother matched the image in her memory, Ralph, of course, knew what she was thinking. He frankly said that he remembered being knocked down by a man with a gun. Then he heard Wanda's scream. Ralph knew she needed him, so he came. While they were talking, they suddenly realized that Tommy had the same speed as Ralph. On this side, Vision was patrolling around town. He realized that the closer the residents got to the edge, the stranger they were. They kept repeating the same movements. Sometimes there were tears in the corners of their eyes. At that time, Haywood was arguing with Monica's group in the base. He was unaware of his previous wrong decision. Haywood felt that only by dying would Wanda put an end to these things. They were no match for Wanda. It was not a good idea to confront her. Facing these criticisms, Haywood was so embarrassed that he got angry at the wrong person. He immediately ordered Monica and the others to be expelled. However, it still did not change the minds of the three of them. They had to stop Haywood. Monica and James knocked out a few guards. Then they put on their clothes and sneaked in. On this side, Darcy hacked the computer into the base's secure network. She conveniently connected to Haywood's location and found out how he had observed the population of Westview Town. Moreover, Haywood was also tracking Vision. In addition, James saw that the residents on the outskirts were almost motionless. In order to answer the question in her heart, Monica contacted her friends. She asked them to help her enter the magical barrier. Darcy reminded Monica that she had been in contact with the magical barrier twice in a row. The cells in her body had been modified by Wanda's magic. Monica heard and said she didn't care. Even if she had to pay a heavier price, she still had to talk to Wanda. After saying that, she took James to meet her friends. Darcy stayed at the base and broke the last firewall in Haywood's device. Meanwhile, Vision had reached the edge of town. The people here did not react the same as the elderly. Vision flew up high and saw a car in the distance. He went to look and found that person in the car car was Edna's. Seeing the hallucination coming, she stupidly said she was lost. Vision tried to awaken her consciousness. Edna begged him to save her in desperation. Vision was an Avenger but in a hallucination. After listening, he asked again what an Avenger was. Edna thought for a moment and then said clearly that Vision was dead, so why did he appear here now? This made Vision even more confused, so he could only restore Edna to his original state. Then he continued to walk outside. On the other side, Wanda and Ralph were resting. On the way, Ralph asked her how she could control this place. At first, Wanda was very conflicted and didn't say anything. Ralph kept comforting her, saying that they were family and didn't need to be reserved. Hearing this, Wanda let down her guard, but she couldn't remember how she did it. What impressed her most at that time was the feeling of loneliness and emptiness. When Wanda turned around, Ralph had turned into a corpse. Wanda looked closely and realized it was just an illusion. On this side, Darcy had just cracked Haywood's file. At the same time, she had sent it to James. Not long after, Vision arrived at the magical barrier and started trying to escape. Seeing this, Haywood quickly led people to the scene. Vision rushed out, causing his body to begin to crumble little by little. When Darcy saw this, she rushed to help him, but she was handcuffed by Haywood's men. Vision kept calling for help from them and asked them to go inside to help the people, but Haywood did not react at all, just silently watched Vision's body pieces crumble. At the same time, Billy felt something unusual about his father. He quickly went to tell his mother. After hearing this, Ralph joked that there was nothing to worry about. Vision had died once, so he would die again. As soon as he finished speaking, he was blown away by Wanda. Hearing that Vision was in danger, Wanda immediately used magic to expand the magical barrier. Everything around was swallowed, so everyone hurriedly ran away. Vision's life was also protected, but Darcy was handcuffed and could not run, so she was also swallowed by the magical barrier. This caused her to lose her original memories. There were still many people who couldn't run away in time, so they all turned into residents of Westview Town. After this incident, Wanda's ability showed signs of going out of control. Everything in the town kept changing. She herself was very resistant to this. Wanda didn't want to admit her mistake. She wanted to stay home and rest for a day. Wanda chose to ignore this constant change, because as long as she didn't see it, it didn't matter. Tommy and Billy curiously asked why Ralph said their father would die a second time yesterday. After listening, Wanda quickly told them not to believe anything anyone said. That person wasn't the real Ralph, but Wanda didn't know how to explain. At this time, Edna arrived. Edna always helped Wanda out when she needed help. Edna took Tommy and Billy away to give Wanda some space to rest. After the two boys were taken away, Wanda tried to return everything to normal, but it kept getting worse. But Edna and the two boys returned very happily. Halfway through, Billy said that he felt at peace here. Moreover, Edna's heart was very calm. At the same time, Monica and James received a message from Darcy before she was caught in the magical barrier. She guessed that Haywood intended to use the Sword Organization's resources to revive Vision. It's just that they were not successful yet. Even when Wanda took Vision away, Haywood still didn't give up. He was still tracking Vision's location. While talking, the two arrived at the target location and saw a group of soldiers there. They were Maria's subordinates when she was alive. They could provide tools for Monica to enter the magical barrier, and everything would be done soon. Monica tried to drive a space car into the magical barrier, but Wanda had reinforced the magical barrier, so Monica couldn't get in, so she could only leave the car and run away. After this, she suddenly thought that her body density seemed to be suitable for the magical barrier, so she chose to go in directly. As expected, she succeeded. During this time, Monica also awakened her superpower. This power is photon. She hurriedly went to Wanda's house. On the other side of the suburbs, Vision also woke up from his coma. The Sword Organization base had originally turned into a circus. Darcy was a circus performer here. Fortunately, Vision still had an impression of her, but now she couldn't remember anything. She thought Vision was a pervert who came to talk to her. There was no other way, so he had to use his power to restore Darcy's consciousness. In order to understand everything, they drove away from this place. At this time, Darcy kept telling Vision what had happened, simply to save the universe. Vision let Wanda kill him. As a result, Thanos reversed time. He traveled back to the past to take the Mind Stone, causing Vision to die. On the way, they kept hitting obstacles and red lights. Vision knew that these obstacles were all created by Wanda. Maybe she didn't want to see him now. There was no other way. They could only obediently listen. Next, Vision knew that he was originally just an artificial intelligence named Jarvis. His body was a product of Ultron used to destroy humanity. As for why Vision is alive now, Darcy doesn't know, but Wanda's love for him is not fate. No matter what happens between Wanda and Vision, their feelings can never be doubted. At the same time, Wanda is taking medicine at home to try to calm down. Suddenly Monica appears and tries to explain what is going on. But Wanda doesn't know how Monica got in. So once again, Wanda uses magic to push Monica away. It can be seen that Ralph is a dangerous person. They sent Ralph to create chaos. Wanda is determined to kick Monica out. Unexpectedly, Monica now has superpowers, so Wanda can't push Monica out like before. Wanda didn't expect this. Monica continues to persuade Wanda. Monica said that she had also lost a loved one, so she could understand Wanda's pain. But they couldn't because they couldn't accept reality. Forcing themselves to lie to themselves wouldn't change anything. It would only make them sink deeper into the pain. Whatever happened was done, so now they should accept the truth instead of trying to change the ending. Wanda was a little emotional when she heard this. They didn't know that Ednis had seen everything. After Ednis saw Monica, she pouted, looking displeased. Then Ednis walked over and said that Wanda had gone through enough. Wanda shouldn't listen to these pressured words anymore. After saying that, Ednis led Wanda away without a word of explanation. Ednis took Wanda to his house and said, "I'll get you something to relieve stress." During this time, Wanda saw that the TV was still on. There were 2 unfinished portions of food on the table, and the rabbit in the cage next door was so hungry that it had to gnaw on paper. But, strangely, she didn't see Tommy and Billy here. Ednis said that maybe they were playing in the basement and she didn't need to worry. Wanda immediately got up to check. The basement here was very strange. The walls were covered with vines. No matter how she called, she couldn't hear the children respond. There was also a strange magic book in the basement. When Wanda was extremely confused, Ednis suddenly walked in and mocked her. "Do you think you were the only one in town who knew how to use magic?" It turned out that Ednis's true identity was the witch Agatha. Since her appearance, Agatha has always appeared by Wanda's side. Agatha manipulated the residents to deliberately arouse Vision's suspicion. Ralph's appearance was also interfered with by Agatha, even deliberately pretending to be a victim to increase Vision's suspicion. Even Wanda's pet dog was killed by Ednis. In 1695, Agatha was brought to trial by other witches for using black magic. But during the execution, Agatha actually absorbed the abilities of others, turning them into dried corpses. Then Agatha took the badge on her mother's collar. It symbolized her recognition of Agatha. As for how Agatha appeared here, Wanda didn't know either. She discovered that she couldn't use magic in the cellar. Agatha said that the 4 walls were all enchanted with protective spells, and that only Agatha could use magic in this environment. Agatha mercilessly mocked Wanda. Agatha said that Wanda was facing her own doubts, yet she believed the fake Ralph. At first, Agatha felt an unprecedented source of magical power. Agatha wanted to know how Wanda created everything. The whole town had to obey her orders. Every detail was exquisite, without a single mistake. That was why Agatha tried her best to get close to Wanda. Agatha spent a lot of effort to get Wanda to tell how she got such great magic, but Wanda really didn't remember how she did it. Although Agatha didn't believe Wanda's answer, she didn't give up. Agatha directly revealed her true nature. She sent Wanda back to the past again. This might help Wanda remember. At first, Wanda didn't want to cooperate, but Tommy and Billy were still in Agatha's hands. For the safety of her children, Wanda had no choice but to compromise. Agatha opened Wanda's memory door. Together they went back to Wanda's childhood memories. At that time, it was still the Cold War. Wanda's family was poor but still very happy. Happiest thing for the whole family was to sit together and watch sitcoms. Even though the war was raging outside, they could still find a warm home. Wanda loved watching sitcoms. But one day, the war broke out. Her parents died tragically in the war, leaving only Pichu and Wanda. The once cozy home has fallen into ruins. Wanda looked in despair at a missile with the name Stark Industries on it. Wanda and Pichu hid under the bed. The TV next to them was still playing their usual sitcom, but now everything was different. Wanda thought for a while, and then she said that the ending of every episode was just a dream. She slowly reached out, wondering if she was in a dream. When Wanda was about to touch the missile, she was brought back to reality by Agatha. Agatha asked Wanda if she had awakened her superpowers yet. Finally, she stopped the missile. Wanda shook her head. She clearly remembered that it was just a dud that didn't explode. Even when she awakened her superpowers, Wanda really couldn't remember, but that was okay. Agatha continued to bring Wanda back to her memories piece by piece. Monica came outside Agatha's house and opened the cellar door, probably wanting to go to Wanda's aid. As a result, she was seen and captured by Ralph. They went to Wanda's house when she was invited to join the Hera organization. She participated in an experiment that required touching the Mind Stone. No one had ever survived an experiment before. The experiment was carried out quickly. Before Wanda touched the Mind Mind Stone, it escaped from the staff and came to her. Then a flash of light appeared, and the silhouette of Scarlet Witch vaguely appeared in front of Wanda in the mist. She then fell unconscious to the floor. After this, Wanda was taken to isolation. The only thing in her dimly lit room was an small TV that was playing a sitcom, but the video of the experiment only showed Wanda fainting. The experimenters did not know what happened during that time. This experiment stimulated the magical energy in Wanda's body to become stronger. At this time, Agatha said she had a hypothesis but needed more evidence. Next, they went to the scene after Pichu died. Wanda was alone at this time. She lost her family, and her family could only bear the pain alone. It was at this moment that Vision appeared to comfort her wounded heart. In fact, he was an artificial intelligence, but when Wanda was saddest and most desperate, Vision's appearance brought her a ray of light. In this strange country, Wanda had someone to rely on. Seeing this scene again, she almost collapsed. Wanda did not dare to see his death again, but Agatha continued to lead her. They entered the next memory scene. Wanda went to the Sword Organization to bring Vision's body back for burial, but Haywood told her that Vision was a super weapon worth more than 72 trillion. It would be a waste to bury Vision underground, and he would not allow it. He dismembered Vision and wanted to research a way to revive Vision again. The most Wanda could do was say her final goodbye. After her family, Vision was the thing she cared about most. Sadly, he was not Wanda's personal property. There was no way she could take Vision away. Looking at the broken body of her lover, Wanda was extremely sad. She reached out to feel him. Wanda finally left. There was a letter in her car. This was left by Vision before he was alive. Inside was an address. Wanda followed the address to Westview Town. This was a newly leveled piece of land. Vision originally intended to bring Wanda here to live out their old age, like other couples, and live a peaceful and loving life. This was Vision's greatest wish. Wanda looked at the heart on the letter. Her last line of defense had completely collapsed at this moment. Wasn't this her wish? Wanda's mental breakdown caused the chaotic magic inside her to explode immediately. She built a warm house. The entire Westview Town was surrounded by a magical barrier. In an instant, Wanda used magic to create a new Vision, combining her love and longing. From now on, this is where they will grow old together. Wanda did not revive Vision but recreated him. This Vision has no previous memories. Fortunately, no matter how he comes back, Wanda's love for him will always be the same. Agatha's heart basically understood. She appeared next to Tommy and Billy. Wanda's power was strong enough to become a legend, but she used that power to play house, to be a housewife. So Agatha felt it was a waste. There was an Easter egg mentioned here. As mentioned, Haywood wanted to revive Vision. He painted and reassembled Vision's body at the base. Haywood fired a rocket at town of Westview. It was then blocked by Wanda's magic and thrown out. Her magic remained on the rocket, so he took advantage of the remaining magic to activate White Vision to revive. At this time, Wanda is fighting against Agatha. First, she saves her two sons so that they can find a place to hide. Then Wanda is surprised to know that Agatha has been able to steal her magic. Not long after, White Vision flies to the battlefield. His appearance leaves Wanda speechless, but when White Vision is about to kill Wanda, fortunately Vision comes to the rescue in time. Vision will take care of the confrontation with him. Wanda continues to fight Agatha. Wanda chases her through the streets. Agatha says that the magic book in the basement is actually the Darkhold. Inside is a chapter about Wanda. Her power is far beyond the supreme sorcerer, born to destroy the earth. Agatha restores the awareness of the residents around. They rush to ask Wanda and ask her if she knows how much they have suffered. Although Wanda still controls them, they all have memories of what happened here. Wanda's dream of fulfilling the people made everyone suffer every day. They constantly complained that she was torturing them. Finally, Wanda could not bear it anymore and her emotions collapsed again, and the chaotic magic broke out again. Everyone at the scene was strangled. When Wanda calmed down, she opened the Westview Town magical barrier to let everyone escape. This also gave Haywood a chance to break in. On the other hand, Monica was locked up by Ralph and could not get out. Because she was so bored, she started to rummage through everything. Monica discovered that the Ralph in front of her was not Ralph. He was just one of the residents of Westview Town. Monica noticed the magic necklace around his neck. There was still a purple light on it. Maybe this person was controlled by Agatha. At that time, both Vision were still fighting, but because the magical barrier disappeared, Vision and both Tommy and Billy gradually disappeared. They were one with this world. Wanda closed the magical barrier again to save her family. A family of 4 hugged each other tightly. No matter how fierce the storm was in the future, they did not want to be separated like this. Enemies still came in droves. Fortunately, Tommy and Billy both had their own powers. Facing the weak soldiers was no problem. They fought the Sword Organization soldiers on the ground. Seeing that, Haywood pulled out his gun and continuously shot Tommy and Billy. At the dangerous moment, Monica rushed in and used her superpower. Haywood saw the opportunity and immediately got in the car and ran away. But he was hit by Darcy, who was rushing to get there. She forced him into a corner and could not move. Vision lured White Vision. Vision told White Vision that he was not the real Vision. This made White Vision confused. The two sides stopped arguing and talked together. White Vision told them not to be long-winded and to keep it short. White Vision had the previous data but lacked the power of the Mind Stone. Vision, although he did not have his original body parts, found memories of the past. In order to prevent White Vision from being taken advantage of by bad people, Vision transferred those memories into White Vision's brain so that White Vision could distinguish right from wrong. From now on, White Vision is no longer under Haywood's command. He stood up and left. On the other side, Wanda also fulfilled her expectations by bringing Agatha to the scene where she was executed. Unexpectedly, she did not panic at all, and even found an opportunity to turn the situation around. Agatha turned the executed character into Wanda. She wanted to make a deal. Agatha would take away Wanda's superpowers, but in return, Agatha would give Wanda a small corner to live with her family forever. After hearing this, Wanda immediately brought her back to reality. Wanda transformed all her power into a ball and threw it at Agatha. From the outside, Wanda had lost her magic, and her body gradually withered, but she actually had her own strategy. Agatha was immersed in it. Wanda took the opportunity to set up circles around. Now Agatha could no longer use magic because this place had become Wanda's territory. Her body gradually recovered and her magic gradually returned. Finally, after a terrible spell of magic, Wanda transformed into the Scarlet Witch. Wanda did not kill Agatha, but erased her memory of everything so that she could stay in Westview forever. Agatha would always be a neighbor who was both annoying and enthusiastic. Now Wanda finally understood that she should let go. She withdrew her magic and the magical barriers slowly disappeared, and Westview gradually restored its original appearance. Wanda's family returned to that house. Wanda and Vision put their two sons to bed. This could be the last family reunion. The magical barrier outside was getting closer and closer, and soon this cozy little house would disappear. Even though fate believed that they would be separated, Wanda still believed that the bond of the whole family was forever. Vision and the children would always be in her heart. Their remaining time was running out. At this time, Wanda also revealed Vision's background. He was a fragment of the Mind Stone that lived in her, representing her sadness and hope. It was also a message of her desire for the future with Vision. The most important thing was that he was her love. Hearing this, Vision could not help but cry. This tear said that he was not just a machine, but a beautiful memory. The magical barrier had arrived. Vision's body disappeared little by little right in front of Wanda, until everything completely disappeared. The surroundings returned to their original form. Wanda was left alone. After saying goodbye to Monica, Wanda left. Although the resentful eyes of the residents of Westview were still on her, she did not care. The world is so big, she will definitely find where she belongs. Thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you again.